Yes, welcome to Conquerall Music. Yeah, so this is the store at Conquerall Music, specialized in accessories for instruments. I don't really carry instruments at this point, but looking into taking stuff on consignment and selling used instruments. A lot of the brands that I carry for pedals are ones that you can't really find anywhere else in the Maritimes. And I also do instrument repair and amplifier repair as well. Yeah, anything that one would need to go with their instruments, sticks, strings, cables, straps, winders, tuners, cutters, drum keys, anything like that is stuff that I carry in the store. This is the main record floor for the studio. Everything in here has actually been double drywalled and with the 2-inch airspace and drywalled again, so it's a nice soundproof box. You can wail in here till about all hours of the night if you wanted to, and you're not going to be bothering the neighbors. I've got a little isolation booth over here, which is doubling as a storage room right now, but all padded down for doing, you know, your vocal work. If you're doing, you know, I do advertisements sometimes for the local TV stations and stuff like that. So having a room that's this quiet is conducive to recording any sort of that kind of stuff. And over this way is the control room. A digital recording system, but tried to put more of an emphasis on you know, good analog gear on the front end to kind of warm stuff up. It's tiny but mighty. No, actually before this was a studio, it actually used to be the community hall for the Anglican church just up the road. The building wasn't that old. They finished construction in like 1948, and it was in pretty rough shape. It had fallen into disuse obviously over the years, and so when I purchased it, basically ripped it apart all myself, and then played general contractor, you know, finding the people to come wire it up, get the plumbing put in. As far as studios go, I mean, this was my first time doing it, so I mean, there might be some things left to be desired, but I wouldn't really go back and change anything just because it's, you know, my place.
So you never ever thought about maybe doing this in, you know, in the town of Bridgewater or in Halifax, somewhere where there's actually a lot, you know,
more stuff going on, and that's the one thing the store does suffer, because there isn't a lot of foot traffic, but it's just, this is a quiet place to work. The other advantage is, you know, I'm not connected into a sewer system. I'm not relying on the town to clear my sidewalks. I'm not having to pay town tax. So, and I've always been more drawn towards rural areas. The studio is actually on 3.14 acres of land or something. So I've got lots of woodland out in behind the building, a nice trail that takes you down to the lake. It's only about a 15-minute walk. So I felt this would be an atmosphere more conducive to recording, and that's more what I was thinking of, not so much the store side of things. And the store was a little bit of an afterthought to put in here, but I figured, you know, a lot of people, anyone will tell you who does audio engineering, that owning your own studio is not necessarily the most lucrative enterprise one could get into, but you know, at the end of the day, I get to do something I love. I have an asset, and I do multiple things, so those things all under the umbrella of Conquerall Music kind of help keep me moving forward. That's in a nutshell why I chose to be out here. I love being in the country. By way of bands, not really a lot of long-running, like very established artists. It's usually up-and-comers, newcomers sort of thing. Exiled to Sea is one band who I've done a lot of work with, and they come down. They're like an alternative rock sort of band, and they're just always a pleasure to work with. They're always very well rehearsed. They have a very good idea of what they want their stuff to sound like. I've done stuff with First of All, who is now called Dockyard Boxer. They did a track for, it was Noah Steves from Anomaly Productions up in the city. he was doing a short film called Mother Bear, and he needed some music for the very end of the movie when the credits roll, and so they struck a deal with First of All, and they came in and we recorded the single, that one single. It was like a minute-long track or something that played in the background, and this was before I had anything in here. Like, I had to go rent mic stands because I didn't have the stands. I had all the microphones, I didn't have the stands. And another band, Dirt Stash, which is just drums and bass, and that's always highly entertaining because not only are the songs, what would be the best word, is dichotomous in their nature, and that is very dissonant sounding, heavy stuff interdispersed with like these very pretty melodic little passages, so that's been a lot of fun to work on. And I get lots of singer-songwriter, you know, those are always fun to do because not as involved a setup, but a whole nother list of kind of considerations that you have to take into account. So I work with Patrick Thompson. He does a lot of local stuff. He's always playing at like the farmers market and various events and open mics around here, and he's actually hosting the jam here tonight for everyone, acting as the ringleader to keep everyone kind of on task so it doesn't degenerate into 9 people all trying to do Stairway to Heaven at the same time. I had Chris Richards, another local fellow from here, young guy, started off doing a lot of very proggy, like Steve Vai, Joe Satriani stuff, and he played with my brother a lot when they were in school together. And Chris has just kind of really come into his own and now does a lot of country music, and he came in and did 3 singles here last year.
Where do you see yourself in the future? What do you want to accomplish?
No, still open for business though. I keep it on a continuum. Like I said, the first 2 years I feel are the most critical point for establishing, kind of getting your feet, building your customer base, trying to eke out work wherever you can get it, and just becoming a hub for the local music community. I look at it now, the longest term I'm really looking is 5 years down the road. If I make it through the 2 critical years and then in 5 years time I'm doing all right, I know that I'm on the right track. That's what I kind of see as the overall path with the business, is that I'd like to see, you know, people coming from all those different groups and me being the person who kind of moves between all those groups, right? I don't discriminate in the genre of music I record, and I certainly don't have a problem working with anyone and everyone. If they're coming in here and they're wanting to do it and they've got the attitude that they want to get it done, then I do my damnedest to make sure that they get exactly what they want. This is the bad thing about asking questions. This is the bad thing about asking me questions, is just I won't shut up. I'll just keep going and going and going.